In the midst of a global recession, the many hospitals that make up the NHS must find ways to drastically cut costs in order to remain viable. With the price of energy steadily rising year after year, it's becoming clear that one way for a hospital to curb ballooning costs is to take control of its energy use.
We spend about £1.8 million a year on energy, and that's an area of cost that we can bring down. It's also an area of cost that we expect to rise in the future. So we need to find ways of actually averting that potential increase in cost.
We've only got so much money and we're in a fairly tight economic environment, so making sure that we don't waste any of our resources at all is really important for our patients today.
At the same time, the NHS is asking hospitals to rein in expenditures. It's also tasking hospitals with bettering the environment around them by reducing their carbon emissions.
By 2015, we're expected to reduce our carbon emissions in the NHS by 10%. It gets worse than that because in 2020 we reduced by 34%. And by 2050, which is a long way off, but nevertheless it is a target, we should be reducing our carbon emissions by 80%. So these are hugely difficult targets to achieve.
For many organizations, cutting costs and carbon emissions might seem overwhelming, but Musgrove Park Hospital, in a partnership with Schneider Electric, is meeting the challenges of the economy and the environment head-on.
So our traditional approach has been to do little projects over a long period of time. And the problem is it's not joined up. So you can make a change in one area of the hospital and in another area you might compromise. So what we did is to look at the whole, look at all of the aspects, get the basics right, and you join it all up into one system that will be as efficient as it reasonably can be.
The key results from the partnership are 43% reduction in CO2 emissions, 750,000 base year savings, £2.5 million of backlog maintenance, in other words capital that can be spent on other investments, medical equipment, patient care, and also a net positive cash return for the hospital. Another key benefit from this project is going to be significantly improved environmental climate within the hospital, and this is important because patient comfort is a huge factor in patient well-being and in fact how quickly patients are cured in the hospital environment.
We take very seriously our commitment about trying to reduce our carbon emissions, and I'm confident we're going to be able to offer that benefit back to our community. And those are to people who may never have to use this hospital, but just by us being here will help to create a much more healthy environment for them to live in.
When the improvements are complete, Musgrove Park Hospital will be one of the most cost-effective and energy-efficient institutions in the NHS, and they will have solidified themselves as thought leaders in the marketplace.
So when we consider thought leadership and being market leaders, we have to realise that nobody in the UK has done what Musgrove Park have done to reduce their energy consumption and to reduce their energy bills.
I think also it's great for our reputation as an organisation. People see that we are taking the sustainability agenda seriously, and that's something that I believe patients and the community that we operate in place as highly important.
We have to be sure that we've got an organisation that can deliver and deliver for the future. And I go back to that target of 80% by 2050. Most of us won't be around then, but I tell you what, I really want to set a firm foundation for the people that carry on and manage the hospital, so that when they take over from us, they're going to have a very efficient estate and something to build on.